You know, the Apaches love this land, and they gave it, they respected the spirit of the land.
Oh, beautiful here, isn't it? It is. A bit scary too, isn't it?
Well, it's a natural fortress. That's why the Apaches liked it so much. This is the entrance to the very heartland of Mangas Colarados area. This is the people loved it because this is where they come from.
Was Geronimo in here too?
Well, Geronimo's here, of course, but all the Apaches were here. Cochise, Victorio, all of them.
You know, I think I've heard about that Geronimo since I was a little boy, you know, read about him, and seen movies about him, but I don't know anything about him or about the Apaches or anything. Just a legend.
Well, you know, Hollywood painted a terrible picture of Apaches. They made them seem like savages and insensitive people, and that damn John Wayne image, it just made Apaches look like they're stupid. But they're not. They're just like you and I. They're defending their homeland.
No more stupid than you and I.
Nope. No more. Well, you ready to go?
Sure.
You first?
In there. First?
Yeah.
Because I'm a guest?
Of course.
Okay, Geronimo, here we come. I hope I don't have somebody who don't like me up in those hills there.
Yeah, it's a natural fortress, isn't it?
They must have had men all over. You couldn't force your way through here.
No, you couldn't. I think the cavalry tried a few times, but I don't think they ever made it back.
Pretty spooky place.
Yeah, there are a lot of spirits there.
That name, Mangas Colarados, must have had something to do with his appearance.
Well, Mangas Colarados refers to the red sleeves of his shirt. They're red sleeves, that's what the Anglos around here call them. I think that's what we really need right now. We've lost so much, and we need another Mangas Colarados. That guidance, you know what I mean? Our guidance has to come from within. It has to be fueled by wisdom rather than by strength. Well, this land here, this environment, you know, the Apaches worshipped it. It was alive. You come here to discover Indians. Well, you shouldn't do that. You should go discover yourselves, because you had the same feeling back in your ancient history, the same feeling for the land. That's what we're talking about. That's the guidance we all need. Not only Apaches, but everybody. Is that all right?
That looks good to me.
Did you see any ghosts?
Not yet.
So let's go. Well, what happened was they discovered gold and all the resources. The people, they went kind of crazy. They started coming here and destroying the land, digging up the land, killing Apaches, and they had to defend the land.
No, I can't get over that man you told me about, your great-great-grandfather. With the red sleeves.
What about him?
Well, I've been thinking about him ever since you told me about him. And that story.
And he was about 50 years old at the time. And he just said, well, we know what these people are like, we know what they're going to do, we know it's a hopeless situation, let's fight back. And so he did. And he took the war way deep into Mexico, across the Rio Grande, into Arizona with the help of Cochise and other people. Everyone around in the land of Mangas Colarados felt his and his people's anger for being betrayed. In Mangas's warfare, all of his enemies had great respect for him. In fact, in Mexico, they passed around paintings of Mangas with Mexican features because they said he must be part Mexican to be that smart. And on this side of the border, they said this man has an abnormally large head. That's why he's so smart. Otherwise, he should be a savage.
All those horror stories we've heard about scalping, of scalp hunting and that sort of thing. Big money being paid for scalps. Anything to that?
Well, from what I've read, Mexico offered a bounty on scalps because they were totally, they had no answers on how to deal with the Apaches. They wanted the land, but the Apaches owned it and controlled it. And so they put a bounty on the Apaches, and it was every man, woman, and child. And the children was $25 to $50 a head, and up to $100, and the adult males were up to $200. And it attracted a lot of the lowest life people in the world, from all nationalities, but primarily American and Mexican. And the big problem was that the scalps they collected couldn't be verified as Apache because the Mexican Indians had the same kind of hair. And so oftentimes the guy would ride in with a dozen or 2 dozen scalps, and 2 dozen people would be missing from a Mexican village. So it was counterproductive in a lot of ways.
Men, women, and children.
Men, women, and children. It was a war to exterminate the tribe. Just totally remove them from the face of the earth.
Was Mangas killed anywhere near here?
It was not far from here. It was a place called Fort McLean. That's where he went in to make peace because he wanted to make sure his people survived. His whole tribe told him not to go, but he decided to take a chance, and he went in alone.
What happened?
He asked to see the commanding officer. The commanding officer wouldn't even see him, but he gave a hint to his men that he didn't want to see this man alive in the morning.
Couldn't do that. There would be too many witnesses.
Well, there were a lot of witnesses. From what I hear, they had him at a campfire in an evening or at night, late at night, and it was cold. And one of the soldiers stuck his bayonet in the fire. This is all pre-planned, according to the witnesses. And the bayonet got red hot, and he stuck it on Mangas's leg. And when Mangas jumped up, the men all fired on him and killed him. From the drawings I've seen, one of the bullets hit him in the head. God knows how many other bullets hit him. They probably scalped him and got a lot of money for his scalp, I'm sure. And then they cut off his head and buried his body. And this surgeon, army surgeon.
The one with a fishy name?
Yeah, Surgeon Sturgis.
Surgeon Sturgis.
Well, he cut off his head, and he sent it east to this phrenologist named Fowler, I believe.
What did you say, phrenol?
Phrenologist. It's the study of the skull, the human skull, the bumps and the you know, the shape of the skull, the bumps and things supposedly tell your character.
And this was his land.
This is his land.
Yeah. I understand.
You think so? That's good. Well, good night.
Good night.